Class code starts with curly brackets and ends with curly brackets. We know that a class or an object contains variables and methods, starts with and ends with any number of variables and methods inside the class. This is our first program, so we will create only one method, compulsory, in it main method. Why should we write main method? Because if main method is not written in a Java program, JVM will not execute it. Main is the starting point for JVM to start execution of a Java program. Next to main, method's name, we have written string args. Before discussing the main mix method, let us first see how a method works. A method generally performs two functions. It can accept some data from outside. It can also return some result. Let us take sqrt method. This method is used to calculate square root value of a given number. So, at the time of calling sqrt method, we should pass a number, 16, for which we want to calculate square root. Then, it calculates square root value and returns the result, 4, to us. Similarly, main method also accepts some data from us. For example, it accepts a group of strings, which is also called a string-type array. This array is string args, which is written along with the main method. Here args is the array name, and it is of string type. This means that it can store a group of strings. Remember, this array can also store a group of numbers, but in the form of strings only. The value passed to main method are called arguments. These arguments are stored into args array, so the name args is generally used for it. A method can return some result. If we want the method to return the result in form of an integer, then we should write int before the method name. Similarly, to get the result in string form, or as a single character, we can write string or char before it, respectively. If a method is not meant to return any value, then we should write void before that method's name. Void means no value. Main. Method does not return any value, so void should be written before that method's name. A method is executed only when it is called. But, how to call a method? Methods are called using two steps in Java. 1. Create an object to the class to which the method belongs. The syntax of creating the object is class name object name, jaya new class name. 2. Then the method should be called using the object name, .method name. Since main method exists in the class first, to call main method, we should first of all create an object to first class, something like this, first obj or new first, then call the main method as obj main. So, if we write the statement first obj or new first inside the main method, then JVM will execute this statement and create the object. By looking at the code, we can understand that an object could be created only after calling the main method. But for calling the main method, first of all, we require an object. Now, how is it possible to create an object before calling the main method? So we should call the main method without creating an object. Such methods are called static methods and should be declared as static. Static methods are the methods which can be called and executed without creating the objects. Since we want to call main, but method without using an object, we should declare main method as static. Then, how is the main method called and executed? The answer is by using the class name, method name. JVM calls main method using its class name as first main at the time of running the program. JVM is a program written by JavaSoft people, Java development team, and main is the method written by us. Since main method should be available to the JVM, it should be declared as public. If we don't declare main method as public, then it doesn't make itself available to JVM, and JVM cannot execute it.